Hello, I'm here looking somewhat like a Mekon today. Reason being, I've been asked to do eyebrows, so I haven't done my eyebrows yet this morning. These are my brows for the most part. Let me explain. About 5 years ago, I had them microbladed, but that actually only lasts about 18 months. It's not quite the same as tattooing because that goes, I believe, about 3 layers, give or take, into the skin, whereas tattooing is like approximately 7 or more, depending on how heavy-handed your tattoo is. So the body actually pushes the pigment out, and they're not permanent. It's semi-permanent, so there's not a great deal left. The reason I had to do this is because in a galaxy far, far away, many moons ago, when I was a young lady, I had an obsession with kind of like the 1920s and 1930s, and I decided eyebrows were just wrong, and I got rid of them. And I used to do a pencil thin brow. I was very into Jean Harlow at the time. I mean, I still am, but you know, I can't really pull that look off anymore, I don't think. I did this for quite a long time. Consequently, they never really came in again the way they should have. I ended up with sort of sparse, lousy, thin, terrible eyebrows, and that's why I actually had them microbladed because I just looked like a potato when I had no makeup on. It was wrong, and it's a bit of a passion killer, to be honest. It's fine when you can draw your brows on, but we'll have to take our makeup off sometime. And moment of truth, wasn't pretty. Since then, the microblading is all but gone, and what I've been doing instead is I've been using this product, which is called Eyebrow. I've been using this for probably only about 6 weeks now to try and grow in my brows. I am naturally blonde, believe it or not. My roots look quite dark, but that's just because my hair is just so bleached that it's quite a contrast. That means that my eyebrows are also very fair, so not great either. But the Eyebrow, I would say, has made a really huge difference already. You can probably see, I mean, before, I had no volume in here at all. But if I sort of just push this on, you can see there is a lot of brow. I've got a lot of eyebrow. In fact, it could use tidying up, actually. It could use trimming, which is amazing, because that's not something I've really had to do for about 20 plus years. So that's quite exciting. I also use X-Lash, but again, we'll talk about that another time when we're doing that. Let's see, what do we need today? We're going to need our Collection 2000. You'd think I worked for these people, wouldn't you? But I, honest to God, I don't. Contour Kit, the Highlight and Sculpt. Again, one of my favourite products at about approximately £3. You are going to need a good sharpener. This is absolutely essential. And this is my favourite eyeshadow brush. I use this one for the lid, this one for the brow bone. So something that's this is a nice sort of structured little firm brush for the brow bone. And the eyebrow pencil I use, yet again, very, very inexpensive. I think this one comes in at about £3.75 approximately. This is by Rimmel. This is just called Professional Eyebrow Pencil. They do a couple of different ones. Some of them are the windy up kind. They don't give me enough I have to have a really, really sharp pencil for detail, and I just cannot use those things. It's fine for someone who wants a really, really natural look. It's not really good for this sort of look. So this is my favorite. I've used many, many expensive products. Once again, this is proof that you do not have to spend a lot of money to get good kit. This one comes with a little brush at the top, which is very handy, and a pencil. The colour I use is hazel, which is the right colour for blondes, or people with very light brown hair. They also do these in brown and black. I believe they may do them in auburn. I would have to double check that. I've been using this for years, and really happy with this product. The reason I'm really happy with it is because I can sharpen it and be very, very precise. Aside from that, you get two different kinds of eyebrow pencil. I find the ones that you have to really go and you can't really get the color to transfer, and then you lose, or again you're doing this and the detail is not great. Then the other ones have the opposite effect. They're too crayony, they come on too heavy, they're messy and smeary and too dark, and you just don't get enough control with them. Interesting factoid here. As I was talking about Eyebrow, which is a great product for those of you who have, like myself, overplucked over the years. It's a huge issue because eyebrow fashion just changes all the time, and these days a full brow is very popular. In the 1950s, obviously, a full brow was definitely in the 40s also. In the 30s and 20s, people were emulating silent film makeup still, which had started, in the early 1900s. They wanted to look like their favourite film stars, and of course these film stars were made up to be extra expressive in appearance in films because they couldn't use dialogue. So we had very sort of drawn brows, and everything was very bold, so that if somebody had to look sad, that you could really see the expression, but it also became a fashion. Women started to copy this look for everyday life, and that involved removing the natural brow. This fad stayed for 30 years probably. One of the most famous people for this look, of course, was Marlene Dietrich, the queen of the pencil thin eyebrow. Marlene Dietrich herself suffered as a result of this overplucking issue in her own life. When she was doing cabaret later on in life, this look had fallen out of favour, and when she went to grow her own eyebrows back, she found that she could not. She had custom made paste on eyebrows, which she used for the rest of her life. Fortunately, we have products like this, because I don't know about you, I don't really want to have to paste on my eyebrows every morning. Nobody got time for that, really. So let us begin. Enough of my waffling. Sharpen your pencil. Make sure you have a really, really good sharpener. My sharpener is where is my sharpener from? It's Benefit, I believe. You want something that's going to give you excellent precision. Okay, you need this. Now, my eyesight's quite appalling, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments here, so that I'm hoping that you can actually see what I'm doing, because I have to get quite close to my mirror. But you're going to have to look at my face in a really huge close-up, check those pores out. Ugh. Yeah, I know it's mean, but it'll help you to see what I'm doing. Just bear with me. Use a very, very light touch. I'll say this about it. I'm really sorry about my roots. I'm doing them next week. That's hanging. I'm really sorry. Use a very light touch. I say this about everything because you can always add. You can never take away. You can correct a mistake very easily if you go very light, and then once you've got it right, then go for it. But get it right first. Okay, just don't go steaming in. So the first thing you're going to do is you must follow your natural brow. Okay, you may really want to have some, you know, super high arched kind of Dietrich brow, or like a super, you know, like a Marilyn Monroe brow, for example, is a very high arch. If this isn't something you naturally have, please don't do it. You just are going to have to concede that you may not be able to have your favorite film star's eyebrows. You're going to have to choose someone else. If you're a blonde and you're looking for an alternative to a sort of, you know, very arched 50s brow, there are quite a lot of other women you can look at. Jane Mansfield had quite a rounded brow. Lana Turner is another really good example. You can have a look at, she's a big favourite of mine. If you're a brunette, Betty Page, not a very arched brow at all. A nice brow, not an arched brow. If you are a brunette and you want a very arched brow, of course Elizabeth Taylor would be the queen of the very arched brunette brow. And Ava Gardner's quite a sort of a, don't do that on one side. Can you do that? I can't raise an eye. Am I raising an eyebrow? I don't know. Anyway, so all I'm trying to say is you need to go with what you have. You don't need somebody else's eyebrows. You have your own eyebrows, and you need to sort of at least stick with the shape. You can improve upon them, but you don't change the shape. And the reason for this is you're going to look plain weird, because your eyebrows are designed for your face. They are the frame of your face. They're one of the most overlooked things. They're absolutely essential for a really polished look. But you must try and go with what you naturally have. I happen to have a naturally very arched brow, so I'm just going to show you how I would do mine. But you can modify this very simply for your own needs. Okay. Let's go for it. So taking this pencil very lightly, I draw a line under my natural brow, and just in little strokes like this, I just bring it straight up. My arch, the arch of the eyebrow, is here, sort of at the edge of your eye. That should be where your eyebrow naturally arches. And your eyebrows are never going to be completely symmetrical. Don't kill yourself over it. It's a tough one for me because I actually have Asperger's, so detail is something that is kind of an obsession of mine, and if it's just like a little bit off, I could just drive myself crazy trying to make it match. So sometimes you just have to let it go. Okay, and then I've done the same again. See here, and again your arches here. And as you can see, again, I'm going extremely lightly, because if I make a mistake, it's incredibly easy to correct. Not so if I'm like and drawing them in like Herman Munster. So then the next part I do is, this is basically like an outline, you know, it's kind of like if you're sketching. Now, how far you choose to bring this out will depend on you. I like to bring this out quite far, and the reason for that is because it widens my features somewhat. I have quite a wide round face, and my features, I think, tend to be sort of crowded in the middle, sort of like Pops from the Regular Show, if you remember that guy. So this widens, as I'd mentioned to you once before. If you really want to do like an actual Marilyn Monroe eyebrow, or you know, even a Betty Page brow, you would actually get rid of the hair here and just start a little bit further in. Eliminate this piece and then move your arch ever so slightly over, because that creates an even wider look. And so really croaky today. It will widen your features considerably. I used to do that. I'm actually thinking of doing it again. I think actually I might do it again just for your entertainment. Because I'm like that. I'm always thinking of others. So yeah, same on that side. Okay. Now this is sort of the actual peak. I like mine sharp. Okay. And I am just following when you can feel in your brow where it's sort of, this bone is, you know, like you can sort of feel that. Get used to your bone structure, and just it becomes a bit intuitive, you know, because especially with something like eyebrows, so much of it is just practice. It just really is. Now you'll see a lot of ads on Instagram and whatnot for these bloody awful sort of stick on they're like a transfer or something, and you just go and you have an eyebrow. Just know. And the reason for that is because how do they know what works for your face, or what the width, you know, or the, no two faces are the same, well, unless you're identical twins. Yeah, but I just think it's a bad idea. So it's tea, which I'm drinking through a straw because I don't want 17. Okay, so colouring in wise, I start here. Any adjustments that you need to make, just keep you can keep doing that as you go along, as long as you're just not being heavy-handed. Yeah, if you make a little mistake, the best thing is to have a cotton bud or something like that, and you can just wipe it off. A little bit of makeup remover on the end of a cotton bud. Okay, and then this bit. Now as you get further in to the middle of the brow, what I like to do is just try and define a little more. But lay off this. Don't sort of end it. Don't colour this bit in solidly, okay? So as you get further in, you're going to have an even lighter hand. Like I'm barely using this now. Okay. You can make any adjustments to this. Should go now. Okay. And then I will usually end up sitting around fiddling with the arch, like obsessively. Pages. I think that's going to do her, really. Okay. Now just to kind of give you the extra definition and to make it look a bit nicer, we go back to our Collection 2000 Highlight and Sculpt Kit. And highlight underneath the brow bone. Okay. Now how much better does that look? Like when my husband saw me this morning, I said, look, I've got no eyebrows. And he said, yeah, you're fine. No. This is a lot better than what it was. Yeah. Now, I'm going to prove to you again that you don't need expensive products. This is a setting spray. And it's by Primark. Yeah, Primark. And it costs £4. I tend to not use this on my whole face. Although sometimes if I go into a gig or something, then yeah, I will, because you know it's always like hot and sweaty and you want your makeup to look good. But it's good for your eyebrows because, especially if you don't have as heavy as a brow as you're drawing on, it can kind of like slide off of your face a little bit. So, or you could go like, oh no, I want my brow. So hold it quite far away. I'm just going to do the whole shebang today, I think. It's one of them days. Yeah, this is the matte. They also do one which it has sort of like more of a sheen to it. Personally, and I think as you get older, avoid shiny things on your face because they just tend to accentuate lines. Matte is the way to go. If you're young, you can do whatever the hell you want, basically. You can have a lovely dewy face. You can just do what you want, can't you? Because you're young and pretty and it doesn't matter. You can just have fun with makeup. So yeah, this is a great item. £4. You absolutely cannot go wrong with that. And that is it. It's really, very simple, and the key is playing around and just seeing what you come up with. And it is one of those practice makes perfect things. I don't know if cheats work for some people, but I don't like stencils. I don't like sticky on transfers or any of that. It's probably important to note as well, you might have more brow than me. This comes with a nice little brush on it, so you can get stray hairs. Your eyebrows should always be combed straight up, and that's how you're going to get your nice arch. If you're really lucky enough to have that kind of brow, and then this part like that. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to just drop me a question. If there's anything else you would like to know in particular, then please drop me a comment, and as I've always said, I will address that. I will get to it, everything. Yeah. And I'll get my roots done next week, so hopefully the next time you see me, this will be a bit more sorted out. Not really at my best today. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you all have fabulous lighting wherever you go. Okay, ciao everybody.